Miriam, go ahead.
Good morning, good afternoon, and welcome to this webinar organized by Universities Caribbean, the Organization of Caribbean Universities, and UDUAL, the Union of Latin American Universities. It is our great pleasure to have you today on our webinar on digital transformation and Caribbean economy. I am very glad to share that this webinar is part of a series that we will be convening between 2020 and 2021, organized by Universities Caribbean and UDUAL. In fact, this webinar is one of the first based on our One Caribbean Solutions pillar. In fact, we have identified at Universities Caribbean 6 main pillars of to focus on the issues which are common to the wider Caribbean region. Digital transformation and Caribbean economy, climate change and environmental justice, public health and chronic diseases, tourism, blue economy, and sustainable development, transportation and logistics, and race, gender, and social justice and Caribbean realities. So today is the first of our webinar on digital transformation and Caribbean economy. We are very grateful for this partnership and we value very much our partnership with UDUAL, and we look forward to discussing and exchanging on these priority areas during this series of webinar. And of course, I want to insist on the fact that we have a specific understanding of the Caribbean geography at Universities Caribbean because we see the Caribbean as the wider Caribbean region. And you will see today that our panelists are based in Colombia, Haiti, Jamaica. So it's really a vision of the wider Caribbean that we would like to move forward. And it is now my pleasure to invite my colleague, Secretary General of UDUAL, Dr. Roberto Escalante, who is also an economist and a specialist of natural resource economics. And I would like to invite Roberto now to deliver his remarks, his opening remarks for this webinar. Roberto, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Miriam. Good morning and good afternoon to everybody. I want to start saying that for UDUAL, today is a very special day. It's a very special day because today we inaugurate a series of activities with a very important organization of the Caribbean, as Miriam has mentioned, the wide Caribbean region, with an important organization like Universities Caribbean, of which Miriam Moyes is the Secretary General. It's a real pleasure for us. UDUAL is, as Miriam has mentioned, is the Association of Latin American and Caribbean Universities. And we never forget that Latin America also includes the Caribbean and has to be mentioned in particular, I mean, especially. Because despite the fact that we all Latin Americans share many things, share history, share culture, share, a region, a territory, is a special region of the world. Nevertheless, there are differences, and differences that have to be respected and have to be mentioned and underlined. And certainly the Caribbean is a special region of Latin America. And even within the Caribbean, there are differences. And there are different cultures, there are different histories. You have the Spanish-speaking people, the English-speaking people, the French-speaking nations, and even the Dutch are also included, and the Spanish, as Miriam also mentioned. So it's a real pleasure. I mean, today, as I said, it's a real pleasure to have this series of activities that start with this first webinar. That is a series, is the first edition, is the first version of a series of webinars that we will be developing during what we have of 2020 and 21, plus many other activities that we are planning with the Miriam Voice. So very nice to have this activity, and I want to really thank all our speakers. Dr. Lonsworth, with whom we have talked to before, and it's a real pleasure. Hello, good morning. Mis saludos, because I know that she speaks, she understands some Spanish, to Pau, and she is a very important authority of the University of West Indies, associated to UDUAL. She is the Vice Rector of International Relations of that university. To Paola Amor, who is also a Vice Rector of Research, Extension and Innovation of the University Simón Bolívar in Barranquilla, and Mr. Harold Isaac. He's the Technological Director for the Technologies and Social Responsibilities in Haiti. So I'm sure that with this very important topic, I want to underline that as well. I mean, within the pandemic, technologies are playing a fantastic role, a very important role. So to talk about this digital transformation, innovation, and economy and economics in the Caribbean is a very pertinent theme this morning. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, Miriam, for having organized, for having invited these very distinguished speakers. I'm sure that we are going to have a very enriching webinar. And so please, let's go ahead. We are in your hands. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Roberto. And thank you so much for for your energy, your enthusiasm. It's a pleasure to collaborate with you. And I look forward to our future projects between Universities Caribbean and UDUAL. So it is now my honor to invite our first speaker to the floor. In fact, as I said, our webinar on digital transformation, innovation, and Caribbean economy, we have chosen to invite speakers across academia, but also practitioners. So because we want to insist on the link between university and society, university and industry. So it's very fundamental for us to understand how we can, what are the challenges and opportunities enhanced by the new Caribbean digital economy, and what kind of responses we can find across the different territories. So I would like now to invite Dr. Luz Longsworth, and I will say a few words about her before giving her the floor. In fact, Dr. Luz Longsworth holds the post of principal of the University of the West Indies Open Campus, and she's also the Pro-Vice Chancellor for Global Affairs. She has a doctorate in business administration in higher education management from the University of Bath in the United Kingdom. Dr. Longsworth's research focus is in the fields of leadership development, change management, and organizational development and transformation. She is a certified trainer in leadership courses in 360-degree leadership, communication skills, accelerating teamwork, and 5 levels of leadership for the internationally renowned John Maxwell Company, and in leadership embodiment. Dr. Longsworth has also facilitated training programs and workshops across the Caribbean region, and she's engaged in policy research for the Higher Education Council in the United Kingdom. She's currently the Pro-Vice Chancellor in charge of the Sunny Yui Center for Leadership for Sustainable Development, as well as the chairman of the board of the University of the West Indies Press. In 2016, Dr. Longsworth was made an honorary fellow of the Commonwealth of Learning, and in 2018, she was named one of the 70 distinguished female graduates of the University of the West Indies. As a University of the West Indies alumna myself, it is my honor and great pleasure to invite Dr. Longsworth to the floor. the title of her presentation is Digital Transformation, Higher Education, and the New World of Work. Please, Dr. Longsworth, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Secretary General Moise, and un saludo muy caluroso to Secretary General Roberto Escalante. It's wonderful to see you again, and I feel the hands holding across the Caribbean. Thank you so much for your kind words. I will move very quickly into the presentation because I do know that we have a tight morning, afternoon ahead of us. But my presentation this morning is going to focus on how digital transformation is impacting higher education in the Caribbean, and by extension, how higher education is innovating or has to innovate in order to prepare the graduates for the new world of work, the new Industry 4.0 world that we are now being thrust into, whether we like it or not, by COVID-19. So briefly, I will speak about our disruption or transformation of the higher education landscape, higher education and Industry 4.0. I will look briefly at some new models for higher education in the COVID-19 era and end with some recommendations which you are free to totally reject or we can discuss at the end. So I found this, this quotation some years ago when I was making another presentation to another group of higher education leaders. And it came from the Times Higher Education University ranking, speaking about Latin American Caribbean universities. And it spoke to the fact that our universities were not ready to cope with all of the new changes that were occurring in the higher education sector, that there was resistance, obsolete governance structures and practices, and also very low levels of good management, long-term planning, and leadership. I must tell you, I was almost thrown out of that conference by those leaders. But we do know that, as my next slide will show, that higher education across the world, globally, has not kept up with the changes in digital transformation and in technology as so many other industries have. And this quotation from Alternet says, universities who will not adapt will die because the higher education industry is the only one that if somebody who had been frozen for 300 years came alive today and walked into any professional environment, the only one that they would recognize is a university's lecture hall. Of course, that is a bit of an exaggeration, but we do know that we have not been keeping a pace with digital transformation. But along comes COVID. And just again, a little bit of humor. I saw this quick test. It said, state the key driver for digital transformation in your organization. Has it been the president, the rector, the vice chancellor, the chief information or technology officer, the faculty, the students, or has it been COVID-19? And of course, the answer is COVID-19, because we have been forced into rapidly moving into a digital work, into digital transformation, as we have been disrupted by COVID-19. And here is a definition of what disruptive change means. And it is events that affect an organization in a fundamental and visceral way, resulting in usually irreversible changes to the way the organization operates. And this comes from Clayton Christensen, who recently passed away, who really invented the concept and the term of disruptive change. So has higher education been disrupted, or have we just been disturbed by COVID-19? Is emergency remote teaching, reduction of reliance on physical facilities really just a temporary situation? Will that be reversed? I would posit that we're seeing disappearing jobs, we're seeing emerging careers and markets, and we're seeing the rapid acceleration of Industry 4.0 in our environment, or what I call Industry 4.0 on steroids, because of COVID. And therefore, our industry of higher education is being disrupted. And just to quickly speak about that process of industrial development, the mechanical revolution, or Industry 1.0, was started in the 19th, 18th and 19th century, manufacturing, science, mass production in the late 19th to early 20th century, and the digital revolution in the mid 20th century. Where we are now is Industry 4.0. And the question we have to ask is, have we entered Industry 4.0 in the higher education sector? The key characteristics of the Industry 4.0, which we need to know as we are developing curricula and training and educating students for this world, are multiple. We have a virtual environment. It's very mobile and agile. There's a great focus on health and well-being. It's an innovative environment. The emphasis is on soft skills, multi-generational. It is an integration of the man-machine interface. And when we look at the top skills that the economy is asking for based on the World Economic Forum, we can see that those skills have changed dramatically over the last 5 years, but they're very much what we call soft skills. Problem solving, critical thinking, people management, coordinating with others, emotional intelligence, judgment and decision making, service orientation, and so on. I want to share here with you just a diagram that shows that the University of the West Indies, which I represent very happily, and of which Miriam is a graduate and so am I, has put out its concept of the ideal UE graduate, which maps very well against the skill sets that we will need for Industry 4.0. But we have still found that it has been difficult to move into the digital transformation as smoothly as we had wanted. Resources, obviously one thing, resistance, of course, from some elements of our communities, including our students. But as we moved into COVID, this has changed. So we've accelerated rapidly into Industry 4.0. The University of the West Indies, for instance, in 3 weeks, we trained from my campus, the Open Campus, which was already online. We trained over 1,000 of our lecturers across the region and another 1,000 from other institutions in emergency remote teaching. And so we had to pivot, to use that word, very quickly, accelerating into 4.0. Our students and our faculty have to learn to dominate the digital world, which is now moving very rapidly into artificial intelligence and augmented reality as part of the teaching and learning environment. In terms of the economies are growing in the area of what we call low-touch industries or technologically enabled industries. Physical banks are closing down and more is being put online in the cloud. Our industries' business models are changing. Tourism, healthcare, education, those are large industries in the Caribbean, and those business models are changing. In the area of tourism, for instance, there are new ways now of preparing the tourist industry, given the health issues. In education, we are moving into a blended modality at best, and perhaps even more so an online modality. In terms of innovation, I propose that the higher education system in the Caribbean needs to adopt innovative models for training and education, removing the divide between what is called technical and academic training, harken back to the skill sets that the World Economic Forum has asked us to look at. We have to also look at reconceptualizing what a degree is, using micro-credentialing, stackable credentials, as well as other skill sets and not just academic programs. So in the reconceptualization of the degree, what we are doing in the University of the West Indies is we are looking at, and at the moment, flexible degree models, which include micro and stackable credentials, utilizing short courses which can be added together in order to make larger degrees. We're also looking at special purpose degrees, which are aligned with industry. So these are degrees that are developed through collaboration, direct collaboration with the industries in the region. We're looking at prior learning assessments. We already have prior learning assessment where we can take experiential learning and convert that into academic credit, and focusing our graduates on innovation and entrepreneurship rather than the traditional approach of going to work for a company. Apprenticeships and co-op degrees are also very, very important. Apprenticeship is an old system, but it is one where students learn the practical skills even while they are doing the academic program. The key issue is to put out digitally competent graduates. It is very important that our graduates can manipulate the digital environment, or the region will be left. And these are some of the ways that we can do this through the online training and education, competency-based certification, and lifelong learning, which is also credit-based and can build on degree. While we speak of preparing our graduates for the world of work, I do want to end quickly by saying that we have to also look at how we can prepare our environment for these graduates. Because structurally in the Caribbean, our innovation focus is not as strong as it is in other parts of the developed and developing world. In the English-speaking Caribbean, for example, only 2 of our countries feature in the World Innovation Rankings by the World Intellectual Property Organization, and we are not high up. And so the issue is, how can higher education and training institutions work with government and industry to ensure that industry itself is also developing and innovating in a way that can absorb the graduates that we say we want. But then when we turn out hundreds of software engineers, will there be a place for them? Will there be opportunities for them? Or will we lose them, as we have been doing in the past with our professionals, to the developed world? So I will end by saying, and quoting my Vice Chancellor, Sir Hilary Beckles, that the university has to be an activist university beyond simply training and education, but working with government through policy support, with innovators, with research and development, working with funding agencies, donor agencies, as well as venture capitalists to train and mentor our young people, our graduates, to be able to not just survive, but to thrive and to create wealth as they enter the new world of work. So these are my final recommendations. All of our graduates, in order to benefit from the digital transformation, should have entrepreneurial preparation. There should be that focus on the soft skills, which are contrarily very important now that we are in a technologically enabled environment. There should be closer academia industry linkages, and the focus should be innovation. We have to transform the entire education system, not just the higher education portion. And we have to help to create the workplace that will absorb these graduates in order to ensure that we can benefit from digital transformation. I thank you very much for your generosity of time and listening to my conversation, and I look forward to your questions.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Longsworth. our audience, people are actually commenting and saying that it is in fact very interesting, and commenting on your mention of the Industry 4.0. In fact, it is so essential that we dominate the digital world in academia. And I want to take the opportunity that you mentioned Sir Hilary Beckles, who is also the president of Universities Caribbean, and in fact, the University of the West Indies as a regional university is leading the organization with an executive committee across the wider Caribbean, Dutch, French, and speaking Caribbean. I want to greet our colleagues who are saying hello from Mexico, Guatemala. I can see your greetings in the chat. Thank you and welcome. Thank you for joining us today. It is now my pleasure and honor to move to the next participant. Before doing this, I just want to say that any questions that you would like to if you have any questions, you can put it in the Q&A if you are connected with us via Zoom. But if you are on YouTube, if you are connected on the YouTube page of UDUA, you may drop your questions there, or on the Facebook page of Universities Caribbean, the knowledge community of the Caribbean. So your questions are welcome. We will keep all the questions and answers at the end of the free papers. So I would like now to invite our second speaker, and it's really a pleasure to have her today. And this is, in fact, we had invited her to Jamaica to our last One Caribbean Solution Symposium, and because of visa issues or passport issues, we did not manage to have her. It was a real frustration. So it's really my pleasure to have you today with us, Dr. Paola Ama. I'm going to introduce Dr. Paola, who is the Vice Rector for Research, Extension and Innovation at Universidad Simón Bolívar, and also the CEO of Macondo Lab. In fact, Universidad Simón Bolívar is one of our very active Colombian members at Universities Caribbean, often very much represented by Patricia Martinez, who is a very active member of Universities Caribbean. Paola Ama in fact, holds a PhD in industrial engineering, master in political and economic studies. She's a specialist in industrial management and business administrator. She currently serves as I said, the Vice Rector for Research, Extension and Innovation at Universidad Simón Bolívar in Colombia. Dr. Ama has over 20 years of experience in educational, public, and business sectors. She also specializes in management of innovation and knowledge-based projects. She has occupied several positions as principal of Universidad del Atlántico, Sub-Secretary of Business Management at Atlántico's department in Colombia, and Academic Vice Rector at Universidad Tecnológica de Bolívar. She's an evaluator at the CNA for master's and doctorate programs. She's also the director of the Innovation and Entrepreneurship Management Group, recognized and ranked by Colciencias at the highest category, A1, and she's a senior researcher nationwide. I will, of course, let you go online and Google for scientific publications in innovation, entrepreneurship, and management that I'm not going to list here. But as you understand, this is very much my pleasure and honor to invite Dr. Paola Ama to speak today. The title of her presentation is Digital Transformation in the Caribbean, If Possible, Macondo Lab Case. Paola Ama, the floor is yours. Thank you. I think yes. Now is
okay. Gracias primero, Miriam, por la invitación. La verdad es que estoy muy contenta y estuve frustrada por no haber ido a Jamaica en esa invitación previa. Estaba lista, pero un problema con mi pasaporte que no me había dado cuenta, que no sé cómo sucedió. Quisiera compartir mi pantalla para tener lista mi presentación. Y quiero hablar sobre un caso especial, y es un poco nuestra experiencia en la Universidad Simón Bolívar, frente a que como universidad no estábamos muy contentos con lo que estaba sucediendo, digamos, con el sector empresarial. Llevamos 15 años intentando que las empresas innovaran, que la tecnología fuera importante, y no logramos conectar con ese sector empresarial donde la innovación no era un factor fundamental de desarrollo. Pero tampoco entendíamos que las universidades no nos habíamos sabido comunicar con esa base emprendedora, 15 años o de empresas, donde decíamos, miren, hay un gran cambio, hay una gran revolución, una industria 4.0, unas tecnologías convergentes, y parecer eso que nuestro tejido empresarial no terminaba de impactar. Pero igual la universidad estaba muy ajena a estos aspectos de transformación digital, así que desde la rectoría se decidió asumir un proyecto disruptivo, un proyecto donde pudiéramos darnos como el espacio de repensar tanto el vínculo que tendríamos con la sociedad, como repensar que este fuera un laboratorio que permitiera generar innovaciones al interior de la Universidad Simón Bolívar. Y quiero empezar con algo como muy básico que diría, no, es como muy sencillo lo que estás diciendo, pero uno de los puntos claves en esta sociedad líquida de Bauman, en este mundo de tecnología, empezamos con tener un muy buen nombre, un nombre que pudiera abarcar esa filosofía de lo que queríamos hacer como Macondo Lab, donde pudiéramos crear nuevas realidades, donde entendiendo esas tendencias globales pudiéramos realmente dar ese toque caribe, ese toque propio de nuestra cultura y que pudiéramos realmente aprovechar esas ventajas. Después de unas largas discusiones para los que trabajamos en universidad, en los consejos académicos, quisimos proponer en nuestro nombre como ese sueño de 100 años de soledad, donde se vive el realismo mágico que es Macondo, y quisimos colocarle Macondo Lab, porque entendíamos e hicimos una encuesta a nivel nacional y les puedo decir que los 30 encuestados nacionales en Colombia dijeron que el peor nombre era Macondo Lab porque significaba el desorden del Caribe. Pero los 21 internacionales nos dijeron que Macondo era el mejor regalo que Colombia le había hecho al mundo, donde habían mostrado de cómo la realidad y la ficción se unían para transformarlo todo. Así que después de una decisión un poco osada, hace 5 años atrás decidimos colocarle a este centro Macondo Lab. El segundo tema fue conectar que nuestro cliente o nuestro usuario era la empresa, no los organismos educativos tradicionales. Así que nunca le colocamos como ser un centro de investigación ni una incubadora, sino algo que querían los empresarios, los emprendedores, que era crecer. Entonces, nuestro driver es la innovación, pero al final el empresario, el emprendedor, el territorio lo que quiere es crecer, pero crecer bien. Hace 5 años iniciamos esta gran aventura de poder crear este centro en una primera fase apoyando a emprendedores. Debo decir que después de 15 años de estar trabajando en temas de innovación y política pública, hablando con el equipo de investigación y el rector, dijimos, ¿y por qué no crear una nueva base empresarial en el Caribe colombiano? Una nueva base empresarial donde su ADN sea la innovación, la sostenibilidad, lo verde, y no tratar de seguir convenciendo a lo que existe, que hoy hay unos mecanismos importantes de desarrollo para eso. Y bajo esas premisas de tener una entidad donde el método fuera importante, que la innovación fuera el driver para poder crecer, pero que también fueran empresas sostenibles, iniciamos operaciones hace 4 años atrás. Otro punto importante que desarrollamos fue un centro creado para la industria 4.0. En ese tiempo, tanto ni las empresas tenían ese tema muy abierto, ni tocándolo, ni los emprendedores, pero tampoco nuestro sector educativo ni nuestro currículo. Y Macondo Lab se ha convertido hoy en un ejercicio importante de poder desplegar. Tenemos unas propuestas de valor también muy diferentes a lo de los centros universitarios. No somos ni los que tenemos más PhDs, ni más artículos, ni más patentes. Somos ágiles, cálidos y flexibles. Y no saben la importancia de mantener esta propuesta de valor en el relacionamiento con el sector, con emprendedores, con empresas hoy y con nuestra misma universidad. Porque identificamos que dentro de nuestra propia identidad podíamos ver cómo podíamos abarcar esta industria 4.0 y crear esa nueva base. Luego de 5 años de trabajo muy arduo y de un trabajo de direccionamiento para la universidad, estos son algunos de los datos de estos 5 años. Hemos atendido más de 55,000 emprendedores. Otro foco que Macondo Lab no fue creado para la Universidad Simón Bolívar, fue creado para el Gran Caribe, fue creado para todo el Caribe, lo cual el 94% de nuestros primeros años de atención eran personas que no eran ni estudiantes ni egresados de la Universidad Simón Bolívar, era el Caribe en general. Pero hoy digamos que tenemos una proporción casi 84 personal externo, el resto interno. Pero sobre eso hemos atendido más de 55,000 emprendedores. Hemos acompañado 400 startups en esa fase de descubrimientos, todas de tecnologías. 132 empresas que le hemos sacado del Valle de la Muerte para poderlas hoy ser empresas escalables y sostenibles. Hemos generado más de 15,000 conexiones empresariales e institucionales porque entendimos que la persona que venía a Macondo tiene un capital relacional importante con el sector gubernamental, con otras empresas, con el institucional. 209 procesos de innovación abierta. Me encantó la conferencista anterior que hablé de Clayton. Nosotros, nuestro modelo de Macondo Lab es un modelo donde basamos la innovación en el concepto de innovación abierta. Y es que la fuente podía venir de cualquier lado. Las empresas que han trabajado con nosotros, que principalmente son startups, en el año 2019 iniciamos con empresas ya de mayor tamaño, generaron $8.6 millones en ventas. Es una cifra bastante importante para el ecosistema. Durante los últimos 3 años es que hemos creado toda una metodología para que desde las universidades del territorio, no solo la Universidad Simón Bolívar, apoyar la creación de spin-off. Llevamos 33 y este año graduaremos 16 spin-off nuevas en nuestra ciudad y en nuestro territorio, generando desarrollo, vinculación de nuestros estudiantes, nuevas empresas. Y somos capaces de generar alrededor de unos 250 softwares y prototipos en cada 2 años. Aquí es importante que esta aceleradora de empresas, y quiero ver que también un tema de aprendizaje fue que utilizamos un benchmark internacional que es UBI. Este es un benchmark que más que un ranking, era un benchmark que nos permitía ver hacia dónde teníamos que ir, cómo teníamos que mejorar y en los últimos 2 años, pues creo que seguimos la tarea muy juiciosa, muy sistemática y permitimos ser la aceleradora con mayor crecimiento de América Latina en empresas. Entonces, hoy no solo incubamos, sino que también aceleramos empresas constituidas. Nuestros focos estratégicos, industria 4.0, transformación digital, industria 4.0 en 3 pilares. No tomamos todos los pilares de la industria 4.0. Robótica, Internet de las Cosas e inteligencia artificial. Son los pilares que estamos apuntándole y donde hemos logrado generar algunos productos que hoy se encuentran en el mercado. Nuestro foco, hemos tomado muy en serio toda esta organización de universidades del Caribe, pero también entendiendo la gran llamada general de ser mayor y más cuidadosos con el medio ambiente, todo lo que tiene que ver con economía azul. Va a ser uno de los siguientes focos de desarrollo de Macondo Lab, sin descuidar nuestra transformación digital y nuestra industria 4.0. Estos son algunos de los desarrollos que hemos hecho en el Caribe, que aquí también me quiero detener, porque siempre cuando se habla de tecnología se siente que es como que tenemos que tener un grado de dependencia de otros países desarrollados, pero nuestro equipo de ingenieros e ingenieras, nuestro equipo de desarrollo de modelos de negocios, han podido hoy tener algunos de estos productos en el mercado. Si ustedes miran, Patri fue una alianza con una clínica de la ciudad y es una inteligencia artificial que puede detectar lo que se llama un examen que se llama de campo visual. Esta inteligencia artificial hoy ha hecho 30,000 exámenes en menos de 6 meses de ejecución. Pero miren lo importante que un médico me decía, ¿y esta inteligencia artificial nos va a sustituir? No, pero el médico que no la utilice, sí. Entonces aquí participaron profesores, estudiantes, médicos en la elaboración propio de Patri. Mari, que es la gran tema en temas de salud mental, y esto lo estamos viendo con el COVID, lo utilizamos en colegio como un triage para poder detectar depresión y ansiedad en niños. Aquí quiero hablar de Sepia Roth, que es uno de los consentidos de Macondo Lab. Es un dron muy económico, un dron que anda, es un vehículo no tripulado. Empezó como una fase de ideación. Este es un emprendedor que hoy es una gran empresa en San Andrés. Empezó como una idea de hacer un submarino y con el equipo de desarrollo y la empresa pudimos desarrollar este dron. Hoy recibió un ticket de inversión de $500,000 la semana pasada para poderle incorporar mayor sistema de inteligencia artificial. Frente al tema del huracán y los huracanes que están azotando el Caribe, el emisario submarino de San Andrés tuvo una avería y Sepia es quien está trabajando en la investigación marina para mirar sus efectos. Tenemos empresas como FICOR, que también es un spin-off de un profesor, y trabaja todo el tema de bioremediación a partir de la misma naturaleza que se encuentra en los cuerpos de agua. Estamos atendiendo hoy lo que se llama la mojana del Sucre. Y tenemos Horus, que él no tenía un problema tecnológico, pero sí tenía un problema de que creyeran en su tecnología, porque a veces los mismos caribeños no creemos en nuestras tecnologías. Y generó esta empresa que le ayudamos a vender de la mano junto con el gobierno local. Teníamos un alcalde muy llamativo, tenía un Twitter que yo veía, el Twitter del alcalde era un Twitter muy poderoso y en una de esas salió y hoy esta empresa exporta sus servicios de domótica a México, Perú, Ecuador y hoy vende en Colombia cerrando negocios muy altos y nuestra última empresa que nos hemos metido en el tema del fintech, pero un fintech diferente, no como esa banca, sino es un tema de acceso financiero, darle mayor acceso financiero a las personas a través de esta fintech que se llama Liquitech y que trabaja principalmente en el banco. Desde Macondo Lab los acompañamos tanto en el desarrollo de tecnología como en su modelo de negocio. Ahí vinculamos estudiantes, generamos empleo, nos articulamos los gobiernos locales, casi que esa triple hélice que tanto hablábamos en la literatura, la hemos podido en menos de 5 años materializar entendiendo nuestro propio modelo y entendiendo la importancia de podernos conectar, porque solos no lo podíamos hacer. Entonces es súper importante este ejercicio de solos. Yo solo quiero terminar también pues con esta intervención. Voy aquí a cerrar a dejar de compartir la diapositiva, pero sí decirles que como Caribe debemos unirnos más. Todos tenemos unas capacidades y que estos temas de inteligencia artificial, de robótica, hoy no tenemos límites ni países que nos delimiten. Y sé que si podemos compartir experiencias y compartir estas capacidades que hemos generado en esa conferencia de luz o estas capacidades de que Macondo lo hemos hecho. Porque siempre en el Caribe, en Colombia, nos ven como los de la fiesta, no los de las capaces de transformar el entorno, de entender el entorno y saber manejar esa tecnología. Con Macondo Lab hemos demostrado a nivel de Colombia que sí, nos gusta mucho la música, la cultura, pero que también hemos podido afrontar la tecnología para mejorar la calidad de vida y el manejo del medio ambiente. Entonces, esta es nuestra experiencia. Tenemos un camino muy grande y sabemos que de la mano de las universidades del Caribe vamos a poder crecer juntos, así que estamos muy expectantes para que durante este tiempo podamos realmente estrechar vínculos y poder acrecentar generando desarrollo económico, mejorando nuestros proyectos educativos, pero sobre todo generando un mundo más justo. Muchísimas gracias.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ama, for this excellent presentation. And I'm very eager to know more about Macondo Lab and to collaborate more closely because, in fact, I mean, I love the name, but it's also the fact that you say that it's an innovation, a driver for innovation. And definitely this is interesting for the Caribbean youth and across the wider Caribbean region. So thank you so much for this. And I'm sure that we will have questions about this presentation later. This allows me to move very swiftly to our last speaker for today. And I want to thank the speakers for respecting their timing. It's perfect. Thank you so much. We are great with this. I want now to invite our third speaker, Mr. Harold Isaac, who is Chief Technological Officer and Practitioner in Training and Technologies and Social Responsibilities. And I'm very glad that Harold has accepted to speak, because Harold is also representing the Francophone Caribbean with the point of view from Haiti. Harold Isaac was born in Montreal to Haitian parents who were both journalists. He has pursued studies in audio and computer technologies, namely at Trebas Institute, Erskine College, Concordia, and McGill Universities. Harold Isaac went to then worked for 7 years as a network and system administrator for Touchstones Interactive Networks, a $500 million company specialized in deploying and maintaining a suite of internet-connected jukeboxes and devices across North America. In 2015, Harold Isaac decided to return with his family to what he considered to be his heartland, Haiti. There, aside from his responsibilities as Chief Technological Officer for Radio Quisqueya, he took on a parallel duty of being the local director for Alpine Audio Now, an American company specialized in coverage expansion for local radio stations throughout the world on the internet and on telephone systems. In 2017, after an acquisition of Audio Now by Zeno Media, Harold Isaac went on to pursue his role as their local director for the coming 2 years. Today, Harold Isaac regularly collaborates with CBC Radio Canada, La Presse, the Miami Herald, and the New York Times, and he leads journalist training and seminars in Haiti around technologies and social responsibilities. So Harold is really very much the representative of of Haiti, but also of the practitioners' side, building the bridges also between academia and practitioners and society. The title of your presentation today is Digital Data Production and Digital Economy in Haiti in the context of governance challenges posed by the digital age. Thank you so much, Harold, and the floor is yours.
Thank you, Dr. Moise, and I'd like to, and I guess everybody hears me well. I would like to thank Drs. Longsworth, Paula Amar, and also the Secretary General of UDUAL, Roberto Escalante Semerena. I got it right. So without further ado, I will proceed with sharing my presentation. So I'm gonna start this right away. I'm sharing the screen. So yes, so digital production in Haiti. And it's, hold on, I'm starting it here. And we go live. Okay, perfect. So for the IMF, the digital economy is sometimes narrowly defined as online platforms and the activities that depend on such platforms. But in a broader sense, all activities that use digital data are part of the digital economy. In modern economies, it's the entire economy. So today, a small, seemingly inanimate object in our pockets, in our purses, anywhere and anytime with us speaks, captures, and delivers information. This digital information does not remain confined to our immediate environment, but travels in real time around the world. We feed a new reality through our digital doubles, these avatars. They support an ecosystem to the extent and importance of which we barely realize. We are, without really knowing it, making the world run through a new economy, the digital economy. Whether it is called the knowledge economy, the information society, or the internet economy, the reality is that downloading applications, mobile payments, online shopping are a potential gold mine for developing countries like Haiti, where unemployment is high, job opportunities are rare, and the population is becoming day by day more and more fond and eager for new technologies. In this sense, this study took a a look at the situation of the production of digital data in Haiti with the participation of actors and users of the current digital environment in order to assess the situation and identify perspectives. Thus, experts were able to participate and contribute with their insights into the specific situation in Haiti and the measures necessary to allow the country to get on the digital train that is not only on the move in the world, but accelerating at every moment. So the digital economy is a broad concept, difficult to define for many actors, both in Haiti and abroad. It could be summed up as all the interactions of a digital nature generating an implicit or explicit economic activity. The fact remains that this is a dazzling phenomenon, constantly growing, and which now affects and indiscriminately all sectors of activity of society, including university, as we're talking about universities, as well in higher learning, as well as all the countries of the planet. In this context, talking about the creation and capture of value implies understanding of the fundamentals that underlie this new reality. A well-integrated digital economy can accelerate the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, set by the United Nations, in that it fundamentally transforms the quality of life of the inhabitants of the planet. Thus, the definition of the digital economy is a prerequisite for understanding the phenomenon and appreciating the essential mechanism to the creation and capture of value in this context. The presence of a minimum of internet infrastructure in Haiti gives the country some access to the global digital economy. Thus, despite the difficulties in determining its importance, its scope, and its extent, an embryonic digital data economy exists in Haiti. However, it is difficult to determine with precision the rate of growth, but if we rely, for example, on the adoption of smartphones, the annualized growth rate is 10%, according to telephone operators in Haiti. But in the digital world, Haiti is virtually in a dealership position vis-a-vis its own data, which ultimately risks weakening the country's position in terms of digital sovereignty and the promotion of its cultural specificities. Thus, for Mr. Max Larson-Henri of the Haitian Association of Information and Communication Technologies, ATIC, Haiti is in a situation of digital fragility. So the situation of digital platforms in Haiti, for all informed observers and experts consulted, the major Western digital platforms, essentially known by the acronym of GAFA, Google, Apple, Facebook, Amazon, as well as the other giants of Silicon Valley, are in a position of almost absolute domination in the Haitian digital space. The users from the country are very fond of social networks. As such, in January 2020, Haiti had 2 million active social network users. This is 18% of the general population. Almost all social media users are on Facebook, and far behind 350,000 are on Instagram, 85,200 on Twitter. It is important to note that Facebook statistics include those of WhatsApp owned by it. Haitians are also very fond of videos on YouTube and torrent shares being number 2 and number 5 on the visits list in January 2019. In this context, there are few Haitian companies built on the model of the platform. Small, laudable initiatives like Discub are making attempts in this direction in order to foray into the world of online and music streaming. Other initiatives like Traffic, Foodies, and PI are meant to be beginnings of a response to Uber Eats, and Amazon, respectively. But competition from the majors is fierce, even if a local niche remains possible or even credible. We also see mixed initiatives that involve Haitian know-how combined with international expertise, as in the case of the Zeno mobile applications produced in collaboration with a number of Haitian radio stations and media. There are also mobile payment experiences like Nous Payer, Cash Mobile, and Mon Cash. Haiti and the development of the digital economy. Haiti is mainly connected to the internet by 2 submarine cables, the Bahamas Domestic Submarine Network, BDSNI, with a maximum capacity of 2.4 terabit per second, and the fiber link with a maximum capacity of 7.2 terabits a second, in addition to terrestrial links by microwaves and satellite links. The neighboring Dominican Republic has about 10 of these submarine cables. In this sense, it is in a better situation in terms of redundancy in the event of severance of the international link. In terms of average connection speeds per capita, Haiti and the Dominican Republic are considered to be poor performers in Ookla, speedtest.net analysis. The two countries are considered in 2019 as speed laggers. One of the major impacts of the digital economy is a substantial transformation of the quality of life. By ensuring the proper functioning of the fundamentals of the digital economy and by unlocking the access currently closed at the level of certain international platforms such as PayPal, Stripe, Venmo, Zelle, and Cash App, Haiti would take a serious option on achieving the SDGs through financial inclusion. In addition, governments would benefit from using innovative methods to collect aggregated information in real time to inform their policies and assist in the definition of strategies. It is difficult to assess Haiti's exact positioning in the global digital economy. From the available data, however, we can determine that the country is a modest force, mainly a consumer and a dealership of digital goods and services. The value in Haiti's digital economy. The digital economy is an integral part of the daily life of the Haitian population. Ineluctably, it affects and fallout affect a number of sectors. The rapid development across the world of the digital economy is not sparing the country. On the international front, the strike force of GAFA and the Silicon Valley makes no doubt and is steering up the customs and traditions of the country. On the local front, digital tools developed specifically for the Haitian market are shaking up habits, ways of doing things, and business, as the case of mobile payment method and financial inclusion. And we can add the way people attend higher learning and classes. The digital economy, therefore, leaves no one indifferent. For the IMF, the rapid growth of the sector of the digital transaction presents measurement challenges that can affect the quality and relevance of data used for monitoring. For Thomas Mesambourg, there are three fundamental components to the digital economy. One, e-business infrastructure. That means hardware, software, telecom, network, human capital, etc. Second, e-business, how business is done. Any process that an organization performs on networks managed by computers. And three, e-commerce, the transfer of goods and services online. These are the elements to watch in understanding the fundamentals of the digital economy and its value, especially in the Haitian context. Measuring the digital economy in Haiti. Given the novelty of this reality, it is difficult to measure its scope and impact with traditional instruments. In addition, the measurement of performance indexes for the export of services or even digital services is virtually non-existent in most tables covering the Haitian economy. It is thus difficult to determine the proportion of IT services in ICT in Haiti, as well as the exact size of the digital economy in relation to the Haitian GDP. Repercussion in Haiti of the growing power of global digital platform. GAFA and the Silicon Valley meet the immediate needs of the Haitian economy in terms mainly of communication and entertainment. GAFA and the Silicon Valley have established themselves as essential intermediaries in the daily life of Haitians. The fact of offering products and services as useful, as convenient, as attractive creates a strong bond of dependence between the Haitian population and the GAFA. In addition, this population has traditionally been destitute due to the lack of services offered by the Haitian state. Thus, these devices designed and produced by the digital giants gives access to another world, a world, after all, more luxurious, more fun, more playful. However, this universe, which is gracefully offered on the surface of it, is not free in reality. Our data is a counterpart with unsuspected ramification, the new gold mine of this new Wild West. So, like a vast majority of countries in the world, Haiti does not escape the domination of GAFA and the Silicon Valley in its digital space. GAFA and the Silicon Valley have a dominant position in the Haitian market. Stakeholders from all walks of life are beginning to realize this and raise questions about the issue, like Mr. Schiller Jean-Baptiste from the KickTop.com platform, which is a response to the almost absolute domination of GAFA in the Haitian market, especially in terms of social networks. Mr. Jean-Baptiste, who spoke at the OIF workshop on governance in the digital age, presented himself as a defender of Haitian cultural specificities in the context of the battle for digital sovereignty. The challenge is still sizable when Google remains the most visited site in Haiti, undisputedly, as of January 2019. The most visited Haitian site, lenouveliste.com, a newspaper, only arrives in 13th position. The social network Facebook has more than 2 million users in the country, and this without counting all the related services which automatically link to and feed into Silicon Valley. All in all, we are in a situation of digital subordination that borders full-on abdication in several ways. Local investments in research and development, as well as the pressures exerted on national and international decision-making circles, remain marginal in an attempt to rebalance digital exchanges. Transforming data into digital intelligence. In a traditional framework, the data produced in Haiti should be able to be transformed into digital information for the benefit of the Haitian state and businesses. But local leaders and decision makers seem to only have a relative appetite for creation and capture of economic value in Haiti through digital data. Clear examples, however, demonstrate the potential of this type of information. Take this study conducted by flowminder.org, a Swedish nonprofit organization. Flowminder was able, through the analysis of data aggregates obtained from the telephone operator Digicel, to carry out a so-called origin-destination study on the inhabitants of Carrefour in order to determine the patterns of travel as well as the movement of the population in normal times. They thus realized that only 42% of users from the suburban municipality went to work in Port-au-Prince, which suggests a segmented labor market. In addition, Flowminder also conducted studies on population movements after the earthquake by tracking cellular data aggregates. They were able to determine that 23% of the population of Port-au-Prince left the city immediately after the earthquake of January 12, 2010. Flowminder was also able to track the spread of the cholera epidemic in real time in 2010. For Mr. Stéphane Vincent, head of partnership at OpenGov.ht, on the citizen front, this appetite for digital data in Haiti represents an opportunity to promote a concept of open governments through the dissemination of collected data on social networks. For him, digital technology is a way to achieve transparency, citizen participation, accountability, and integrity from leaders. In the same civic token, initiatives like Community OpenStreetMaps Haiti from the town of Saint-Marc carefully set out to map Haiti in a free, detailed manner and demonstrate the potential of digital data in Haiti outside of the universe of GAFAs. Measures to democratize the digital economy. Haitians are very fond of a smart digital usage, so they have widely embraced the platforms offered by Facebook, including Instagram and the very popular WhatsApp, for all kinds of uses, including informal commerce. Local and international trade takes place on these platforms. Difficult to measure the extent given the few details that Facebook allows out of its proprietary information. But if there are any indication, Facebook shows a desire for absolute domination by expanding its peer-to-peer commerce platform marketplace to New Horizon. In the current globalized context, Haitian companies and developers would benefit from studying and exploring Haitian cultural specificities in the digital world. Internet access operators would benefit from promoting the development of local data centers to host Haitian digital products and services. Rulers and legislators would benefit from setting quotas and a regulatory framework for the emergence of a true Haitian digital market capable of competing with regional or even global markets. After all, we only have 555 hosts in Haiti, while in the neighboring Dominican Republic, they have 400,500. In spite of everything, there is not, strictly speaking, a technological fatality in Haiti. After all, with more than 7.15 million cell phone users, the country has still managed an incredible performance for a population with a 40% illiteracy rate. In many ways, the mobile revolution in Haiti has turned out to be a democratic revolution where 2/3 of the population holds in the palm of their hand a sesame that gives them access to the world. How to go from a passive access to a keystone of wealth, that is the question that emerges. The policies are all in all confined in a traditional entrenchment vis-a-vis the digital economy, which seems to act as a passing UFO, which they must be able to possibly do without eventually. However, the digital divide is widening every moment, and its consequences in everyday real life are more and more inevitable. The regulatory frameworks in place under the aegis of the National Telecommunication Council, CONATEL, a state regulatory body, help promote the development of a national network from a mainly technical point of view and from a regulatory perspective of the main telephone and internet access operators. However, beyond the legalization of the electronic signature, following the publication of the decree to this effect on January 29, 2016, a real cornerstone of the development of the Haitian digital economy, additional efforts must be made to develop a vision and business strategies in the defense of national digital sovereignty, as well as in the promotion of Haitian cultural specificities. Nothing should be taken for granted. The Haitian state is, after all, weak and is already struggling to manage its regular obligations. Contemplating the digital future in the midst of a social, political, sanitary, and economic global crisis can, at the very least, appear illusory. All the same, several isolated initiatives are taking place, but the Haitian government still has to define a national digital strategy. For Mr. Max Guibert-Liron, who spoke during the workshop on governance in the digital age in Haiti, the situation is more worrisome when the governmental digital infrastructure itself is disparate and the state struggles to manage the essentials. Absence of a central structure for managing emails, for example, or major government sites going down because their domain names has expired or has been hacked, reveals the scale of the task and the digital challenge ahead for the Haitian state. Creation, and we're wrapping up, creation and capture of digital value in Haiti. National policies for the creation and capture of digital value remains embryonic. The proposal around a fair sharing of the gains from the digital economy as well. Civil society organizations, both local and international, actively and regularly support popularization and awareness initiatives on technological developments in the digital economy in Haiti. Thus, in recent years, several seminars, workshops, symposia, and hackathons have taken place to promote better knowledge and development of business in the digital field. The Haitian digital industry, both in local and international dimensions, is still in its infancy. The digital field being vast and largely unexplored from a Haitian perspective, the potential is all the greater and promising. Thus, for local exchanges, we can think of digital transactions on mobile payment platforms for a host of goods and services as part of the development of financial inclusion. For international exchanges, we can think of the monetization of a set of products and services available. However, major obstacles remain on this path when services such as Google Ads and other advertising intermediaries do not officially transact in Haiti, for example. The global digital advertising market was set to reach $335 billion in 2020. Along with international bodies, efforts are devoted to the development of female entrepreneurship in the digital sector, in particular through initiatives such as Haiti, which promotes the training of women in digital entrepreneurship. Basically, internet access remains fundamental to enable businesses to take advantage of digital technologies. In Haiti, availability of the service remains expensive and difficult. Data policy in Haiti. Haiti is connected to the internet, but it has a long way to go to integrate the digital economy itself, both locally and internationally. In 2018, the average download speed was 9.33 megabits a second compared to 3.41 megabits a second for uploading. Martinique and Guadeloupe, for example, are the first in Latin America with an average downloads of more than 30 megabits a second and nearly 10 megabits in upload. However, while policymakers and public authorities struggle to grasp the full potential of the digital economy, telephone operator Digicel surprises with a success story in the field of financial inclusion, Moncash. Moncash is an important first step in a process of financial and digital inclusion of the most disadvantaged populations. For a large part, this is their first digital account, and they are exploring the ease and convenience of instant transactions. And the formula seems to have proven itself. Moncash volume transactions oscillates between 30 and 50 million US dollars per month. The next step is to completely digitize transactions by allowing users to purchase Haitian goods and services online through the Moncash API. It should be noted that the success of the Moncash platform has been laborious and has developed over more than 7 years, and Haiti remains a fundamentally hoarding society. Haitians swear by cash, which, just like in India, can slow the development of the digital economy. A similar initiative, Haiti Pay, led by Ms. Pascale Elie René, demonstrates the potential for developing financial inclusion in rural areas, but also faces challenges related to stronger traditions of hoarding in remote areas. In addition, the unavailability of international payment services such as PayPal, Stripe, Square, Venmo, Zelle, and Cash App in Haiti is a barrier to integration into the global digital economy. PayPal is one of the preferred platforms for online payments for goods and services. A young person living in Haiti who would do data entry for a US company would likely be offered the instant payment method. It would receive the money in his PayPal account, but would then be unable to deposit it into his Haitian bank account because until now, no Haitian bank recognizes PayPal. This is not the case in the Dominican Republic. Thus, the transaction volume of PayPal, one of the largest payment processing players for the year 2019, was $712 billion. In terms of data privacy and security, Haiti is dependent and subservient of the situation of large data centers and international platforms. Thus, Haiti is now subject to regulation number 2016-679, known as the General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, which defines the collection of personal information in the European space of the internet. Even if it was not enacted in this way, the regulation is found to have global scope because as soon as an European IP address interacts with a website, wherever it is, the latter must explicitly obtain the permission of the end user to collect personal data under penalty of heavy fine. So to wrap up, perspectives on digital economy of digital technology in Haiti, it is estimated that half of mobile phone subscribers use a smartphone, and the growth rate of smartphones in Haiti is around 10% per year. In addition, indicators such as the growth rate of mobile subscription, the number of internet users, and the number of social media users are all positive. The large urban centers, Port-au-Prince and Cape Haitians, are all in all privileged in access to the digital services. Some provinces, however, are left behind with a service almost non-existent in some of them. In the quantitative level, Haiti is not necessarily left out. The qualitative level, there is a lot of work to be done. So to summarize, like Mr. Patrick Atier, head of the Higher School of Infratronics of Haiti says, who spoke at our workshop, the digital divide is likely to widen substantially between developed and developing countries, as cutting-edge fields require more and more knowledge and specialization that are neither necessarily known or even taught in countries like Haiti. For him, the jobs of tomorrow will mainly be positions for researchers and engineers in nanotechnologies, biotechnologies, information technologies, cognitive science, artificial intelligence, augmented reality, virtual reality, blockchain, and transhumanism and quantum physics. Thus, in order not to be outdone, Haiti will have to take a real leap forward in the digital field to not only understand its current position, but quickly identify perspective to defend its cultural specificities, as well as its digital sovereignty in a constantly changing world. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I know it's always difficult to keep to the time. In fact, thank you very much for having made the effort to. I know that that you had much more to say. Thank you to all our speakers for their presentations. In fact, I'm just going to address one question to each participant so that we can have a round of question, and then that will lead us to the conclusion of our webinar. First, I want to go back to Dr. Longsworth's presentation, and in fact, it was very interesting, and we have received many comments of congratulations for all the presentations. Regarding your presentation, we noted that you discussed the reconceptualization of a degree, the necessity to reconceptualize a degree. And And of course, it made me think about the project that we have, as you know, with Universities Caribbean, of a One Caribbean Master's degree that we will be working on, and across the Caribbean universities. But the question would be about the place of language, because you talked about soft skills, and I know that you're a linguist also, so I wondered where you would situate the place of language in this in this mastery of the digital world, in terms of reconceptualizing the degree as well. I would like you to tell us about the language aspect as part of the innovation strategy. My second question would go to, and I will get back to you for the response, of course, Dr. Longsworth. My second question would go to Dr. Amar. In fact, it was very exciting when you have described this innovation driver and the importance of entrepreneurship in Macondo Lab, and the fact that you're ready now for the 4.0 transformation. I would like now you maybe to tell us a bit more about the next development that you have mentioned in terms of the Blue Economy project that you're working on, and maybe the link with the youth entrepreneurship in Colombia, and more, as I understand that is going to be open to the wider Caribbean. So this is my question. And the third question is for Mr. Isaac, Harold Isaac. We have we have received many positive comments also about your paper, which gives us a sense of how Haitian companies are able to deal with the digital, to do smart digital usage. Of course, I'm very interested in personally in the mention that you have made of female engagement in digital entrepreneurship, because I'm a gender studies specialist, so definitely I would love you to tell us a bit more about this. But beyond that, I know that rectors in Haiti have been, as many universities across the Caribbean, it was a challenge, this digital, to go digital during the COVID crisis. So I wondered if, the development of local centers that you have mentioned, I wondered if these centers were also open for training sessions for students. Was there a link with higher education sector and youth engagement in this smart digital usage that you have mentioned in Haiti? So, I just wanted to give you each of you a question, and then we can go back to Dr. Longsworth, Dr. Amar, and then Mr. Isaac, and then we can conclude after. Yes, please, Dr. Longsworth, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Miriam, and thanks for asking me a question that touches on my own passion. As I started off my higher education career as indeed a language teacher, and so this is very personal for me. I think that the Caribbean has been limited by an artificial divide of language. And what that has done in terms of our development and our move into the digital transformation is to create blockages for our youth for accessing some of the exciting things that Dr. Amar, Mr. Isaac have been speaking about. And I was so excited to listen to both their presentations, because there is the sense that this is a different world. And therefore, graduates or young people in the English-speaking Caribbean have a barrier in accessing something that's in Colombia or in Haiti or in Martinique, and vice versa. So it is very important that as a region, we recognize it as important that our young people, our graduates from higher education, or graduates from high school, must be able to manage to dominate one other language apart from their native languages or language. This is a pillar of the University of the West Indies. So Vice Chancellor Beckles, who you referenced earlier, and our management team, we have put this as a goal for our next 3 years, that all graduates as of 2025 of the University of the West Indies must be able to manage and dominate another language. It opens up another world, and it creates a wider pool for our economy to thrive. And so you're quite right that we all of our universities must be committed to breaking down those silos that are artificially imposed on us by our colonial past, our shared colonial past, and we must work together to break those down.
Thank you very much, Dr. Longsworth, for this response. In fact, it's also a part of our mission at Universities Caribbean. As you know, we work within a translingual perspective, and I take this opportunity to greet our members across the Dutch, French, Spanish-speaking Caribbean, and of course the English-speaking Caribbean. We are very glad to be able to offer interpretation so that everyone would find a way to communicate, and that's essential. Thank you very much, Dr. Longsworth, for this. Let me now ask Dr. Amar about Macondo Lab that we are very excited to hear more about.
Nosotros hemos visto y ya venimos trabajando hace un tiempo atrás, nos han llegado unas iniciativas muy interesantes como el Sepia ROF, que trae Industria 4.0, pero para el mar. Tenemos a FICOR para todo el tema de limpieza, pero entendimos que la siguiente tendencia, sobre todo con la nueva juventud y con la juventud, pero también con un poco adultos como nosotros, es el manejo tan inadecuado que hemos dado al medio ambiente. El no saber ser sostenibles con el tema del medio ambiente. Y creo que es un must para organizaciones como nosotros, y que nos une el mar, nos une el agua, nos une, pero también todo ese tema de ser mucho más responsable y sostenible. No podemos seguir creciendo de manera desordenada, y creo que hemos encontrado una base de empresas y emprendedores interesantes para poder experimentar, así como hace 5 años empezamos a experimentar en crear un nuevo mundo 4.0. Y estamos en esta etapa de experimentar un poco más maduros. Como digo, empresas como FICOR o como Sepia ROF nos están dando un derrotero interesante. Son además procesos que generan empleo, pero generan cuidado con el medio ambiente. Y creo que tendremos que estar muy unidos por esto, porque vuelvo y digo, todo el tema no puede ser un crecimiento desmedido sin una sostenibilidad. Y serán los nuevos aliados, y estamos buscando esos nuevos aliados, porque creo que tenemos muchos puntos de encuentro en esta nueva tendencia sobre el cuidado y la sostenibilidad que debemos tener todos como territorio, y crear nuevas empresas que tengan ese ADN, además de la innovación y la tecnología, realmente ese ADN donde nos cuidemos. Ese va a ser el nuevo ejercicio, y veremos cómo evolucionamos, Miriam. Nos gusta experimentar muchísimo en Macondo Lab, no nos gusta hacer recetas, sino experimentar como lo hemos hecho con CEPI y con FICOR, y poder acrecentar un mayor número de empresas y emprendimientos, y ojalá nuestros estudiantes también en este tema. Gracias.
Thank you very much, Dr. Amar. And in fact, we're looking forward to these developments, and I will be in touch with you with regards to the collaboration and the role of Universidad Simón Bolívar in the next steps with Universities Caribbean, and specifically with this pillar on digital transformation. Thank you so much. I would like now to invite Mr. Isaac to say a few words regarding the centers, the training session for students, and maybe the feminine entrepreneurship that you have mentioned in digital entrepreneurship.
Yes, and a little bit of irony is that as we're talking and as we're getting to Q&A, the internet started dropping, and that's a reality in Haiti. So for the female entrepreneurship, there are many organizations, both international and local, that are putting a strong focus in pushing female entrepreneurship in the digital world, especially with regards to app development, with regards to creating e-businesses, developing a business on Facebook, having a website, this kind of things. There's also higher learning opportunities, like in AC, which is infotronique, which they put a lot of stress on that. So Haiti, we don't have large-scale solutions to problems, but there are individual solutions that are there. Many institutions are providing accesses to a certain level of students to pursue study in the field, but it's nowhere near enough for the amount of need there is in that field and the amount of opportunities and that they could be seeking. So this is kind of the situation. We have solutions in place, but not at the scale that we would need.
Thank you very much, Mr. Isaac, and thank you also for accepting to deliver in English. It was more convenient to us for you to deliver in English, and it was translated into French. I'm very happy about the prospects that we had after your three presentations, and I think that it gave us a picture across the wider Caribbean, and it's really exciting to see how far we can go with the digital transformation topic, which is a topic that we will discuss further. And of course, we will make the PowerPoint presentations available to the audience if you allow us to. I would like now to invite my colleague, Dr. Roberto Escalante, to deliver the concluding remarks of this webinar.
Thank you, Miriam. Well, certainly, our speakers, our panelists have touched upon many topics, and it would be difficult for me to comment on each of them. However, I would like to say that certainly the digital transformation of the whole society is at present now. It's very much on the table. And certainly as well, it's part of the life of our universities across the region, and certainly in the Caribbean or in the different Caribbeans. And that digital transformation has inspired, in my view, these ideas of trying to promote, trying to foster entrepreneurship amongst our students. And certainly I find that as a good thing. I think it's a good purpose, a good end. But it's not enough. It's not enough. I would like to stress that universities, in my view, public and private universities, had the primary commitment to society. And society is much wider than the productive sector. And so we have to address not only the productive sector, the economic sector, but we have to address the social sector, the government sector, I mean, the whole society as a whole, and see how digital instruments can help the development of each of them. At the end of the day, we must not forget, in my view, that digital tools are only that, are tools. And we need, I mean, to use those tools, I mean, for particular ends. As Benedetti used to say, a boat not only needs good wind, but needs good ends, needs to know where to go. And universities are precisely the more propitious environment to find out and to create ideas about where to go. So I find very interesting, I mean, what in Colombia Paola is doing, and Isaac in Isaac, Mr. Isaac in Haiti. But as Dr. Longsworth has mentioned very rightly, in my view, I mean, we have digital needs, I mean, to be addressed, but we need to also cultural needs to address, like languages, for example. And then how to use the digital instruments to address those needs that make more cohesive the world of the Caribbean, and help universities, students, professors, researchers, I mean, to contribute more fruitfully, in my view, to make the Caribbean a better world. So I think I just say this, I mean, as a way of introducing some other ideas. I mean, this is a debate. This is an open debate, and I think it's good that it has that feature, because we had not. I mean, if we know how to do in universities, to debate ideas, to debate different points of view, and but I think universities have a social commitment, not only with the industry, but also with other actors that are as important as industry. So that would be my remarks, I mean, for this webinar. And I thank you very much and congratulate our speakers, I mean, for their very interesting deliveries, I mean, that we have heard today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Roberto, and we look forward. Please stay tuned to our social media, UDUAL and Universities Caribbean, because we are now committed and engaged to work together, and we will offer a series of webinars, and we also work on a journal publication. So I'm very happy to say that the collaboration between Latin American and Caribbean universities through our two organizations will be more and more visible and stronger, together stronger. And this is definitely the mission of universities, to help to find practical solutions to the issues which are common to the wider Caribbean region. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Longsworth. Thank you, Dr. Amar. Thank you, Mr. Isaac, for your very enlightening presentations. And thank you, Roberto, for this collaboration. I want to thank the technical team behind the scene, the interpreters, German Ruiz, Denis Bele, Luis Oregrel, for the technical aspect and the administrative organization of this webinar. This is a team across UDUAL and Universities Caribbean. Thank you so much to our audience, and we will see you very soon for the next One Caribbean Pillars sessions and webinar series. Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Miriam, please, my warm regards to Mr. Sir Hilary Beckles.
I will. Thank you very much. We will definitely greet Sir Hilary Beckles, President of Universities Caribbean, and his executive committee. Thank you.